What is up there, Workforce? Chris here with Work To Game, and I am trying to go with 1080p here and see if I can go live, so I'm going to leave this up for just a second and see if I can get my stream to actually show. We will see. It says I went live 10 minutes ago, but I didn't. Oh, and it's working. Hooray! So I just wanted to, I'll get that out of the way now. And so I am just hopping on today while the North American Final Fantasy servers are offline. I had a little bit of a lunch break to play some games, and I just kind of wanted to see what all was going on in my WoW side of things. I really haven't been engaging that much with BFA content. I've mostly been using WoW to kind of plug gaps where there's things that it's nice to take a break from in 14. So in 14, like, I've gotten enough story progression for what I need from gaming right now, so I'm not really doing any story over here. In 14, I have plenty of things that I need to do dungeons for. I have plenty of crafters and gatherers I need to level, so I haven't really been doing a lot of that in WoW. And so really what that's left is forms of money making. And what's up, Awfully Awful? Why play WoW? It's a nice secondary game to 14 for me right now. And so I've been mostly focusing on like transmog runs and going back and grinding old content for clearing, because 14 doesn't really have a clean system on doing things like that. And so, you know, the way the market board works is so much cleaner than 14's, and the way that transmog works is so much cleaner than 14's, especially if you add in add-ons like this all the things add-on that I have at the top here, where it just kind of tracks every appearance you've gained in the past, and so you can view it more as this like completionist hunting log and less of a like, oh, what is this appearance that I had to go make up in a sandbox and then look on Gamerscape where it drops and then go grind those items. And so like you just have to define so much of the user experience in 14 as opposed to literally just being able to go over here and say like, what are things I haven't done, and then just literally mousing over it and it telling you where to do it. There's just something really, really calming about that. So anytime I felt like gathering, I've been logging on 14 right now. I've almost capped all my gatherers. I'm at 58 on my miner, and the 60 to 70 grind is so fast. And I'm done with botanist, and then I've been done with fisher for a long time. So after that, I may move into crafting. The problem with crafting is that, like, depending on your server and your market and your patience, it's really expensive to level. I do not have like tens of millions of gil. I think I'm sitting on like 7.5 right now. So like that's a number that you could totally spend leveling crafting and not make a dent in the total number of crafters that I need leveled. I think all of my crafts are between like 50 and 55 right now, maybe 60. I don't think any of them are at 60, because if they were, I'd push them through with Namatsu. But yeah, so that's I've been playing WoW. So when I moved into BFA, I've paid through this August, and so I don't know what I'm going to do in August, if I'm going to just let my sub lapse again, and if so, what I'm going to play instead, because I can't just play 14, you know, like that can't be the only thing that I do. I just don't find that I feel healthy when I only focus on one game. But I'd like to focus on something else that makes my 14 experience better. And I think having the context of WoW, or having the context of ESO, or having the context of Guild Wars, or something like that actually makes my 14 experience more enjoyable. So I think I want it to be an MMO right now, is what I feel right now. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. Why not play Sekiro Shadow Dice twice? Unless I've already played it. I have not played it. Does it run on Mac or Xbox? Because that's really where I want to spend most of my time right now. I have a PlayStation, but really, I want things to run on Mac natively, and I want them to run on Xbox. That's really where I want the majority of my time to be focused. What's going on, Mira? And that's why WoW's such a good fit. So I don't know what the stream quality looks like right now. This is my first time streaming WoW in 1080p. And I have my settings turned way down on WoW, so I'm going to go back and watch the stream afterwards and kind of see what I think of the quality. Let me drop some of this stuff off. What's up, Pixel? Dark Lantern! Thank you, thank you. You've been having login issues with 14? 14's down. 14's all the way down in North America. 24-hour maintenance while we do our server migration. It's our turn. Europe had their 24 hours off for their turn to make the migration, and it seems to have been going pretty smoothly. So we are definitely offline right now. I know there's a fair number of North American players that have tried playing on the EU servers, but you gotta deal with the ping. You've got to deal with that. So that I think we're coming back online in time tomorrow before reset, but I'm not sure. So if somebody's just trying to finish up the Easter event, they may be able to squeak that in, because I'm pretty sure it ends as of the weekly reset tomorrow. But I'm not sure when our servers come back online. I want to say it's like 4 a.m. here, and I thought reset was like 10 a.m. So I could be wrong, but I think you have like a 6-hour window in the morning if like you were really waiting until the last minute to do the Easter event. This add-on, by the way, that's making my UI look like this TSM auction house, is something that I desperately want in 14. The reasons that I do still enjoy WoW, I mean, the reason I'm still subscribed to WoW is because I already paid for the subscription time. So until August 15th, I don't really even have an opinion on it because I already paid for it. So I kind of make that debate in 6-month chunks, and then I just live with my decision. But like, the things I'm still enjoying are the auction house and transmog. And so if they would redo the glamour system and they would redo the market board, I'm running out of things that like WoW does that 14 doesn't. It's not that WoW may not do them better, or WoW's not enjoyable, or I couldn't like my time in WoW, but like right now, those are two things that WoW has that 14 doesn't come anywhere close to. You think it might support Mac? Interesting. All right. You hated the downtime for EU. Yeah, I mean, it's the first time we've had a server migration, and this is the best time in the dev cycle to take a full day off. It's not the first time we've had 24-hour maintenance. We do get those fairly decently throughout the year, but the total number of days across 365 is very low, and it's always like Monday to Tuesday. So all they're really doing is extending the regular maintenance window back to 24 hours. You would already lose part of Tuesday morning, right? So you're not even losing like an additional 24 hours. You're just losing the delta, the additional time between what a normal maintenance would take and 24 hours. And if it's what gives us a smooth launch for Shadowbringers, they could take it down for 24 hours every week between now and Shadowbringers, and I would totally swallow that. It'd be a little bit of a bummer on the amount of, like, the fact that I pay for 30 days a month, but I don't play 30 days a month anyway. So me personally, like, that's kind of on me. I could shift my schedule to not play on Mondays. But like game night tonight is canceled. Like we've been doing community game night and we won't have that. That's just impossible. You got the regalia yesterday. Nice. Nice. There's plenty of time left on the regalia. That's going to go all the way through May. So we've got plenty of time there. To everybody just kind of knocking out their weekly stuff. Like I'm already back up to 100K. Like I sit between like 100 and 500K MGP. If I would just be consistent, I probably would have millions, but I don't know what the point of that is other than just setting a high score. All right, go drop these two off. I need to clean out this bank again. I let this bank get pretty much full. I was cleaning out once a week for a while. I haven't cleaned it out in a couple weeks. So they only allow 50 items per mailbox. Which is a little different than 14 where like your stuff just stays. So in 14, your retainer stuff stays up for all of time. And in WoW, like it doesn't. You list an item and it stays up for 48 hours and then it comes back down. And so it would kind of get deposited back into your retainer's inventory, which means that you would have to like earmark the inventory space or you would have to create a mailbox system like this. You've got an S rank tokens on Air Force One. 3 of them, nice. I don't do very well on gates. It's not something I'm good at. Maybe that's why I don't like it, or maybe I don't like it. I don't know. Chicken and egg conversation there. Chocobo racing is a really slow way to get MGP. I like Chocobo racing as a system. I mean, I just like Chocobos. They're one of my favorite parts of 14. But Chocobo racing is just a really slow system. And then the Mahjong, like, it's just played 2-player games, and you only get, what, like 1,000 or something? So it's not really that big of a deal. When you compare it to something like Triple Triad, where the weekly thing is like 18,500 just for completing it, plus anything you win as you do it, like any cards that you get to sell or anything like that. Oh, I've never gotten 100 on a fashion report. I've gotten the, like, 80 or whatever that you get to get the 60,000. I've gotten that a couple of times now, but that's about it. I don't do my fashion report every week, and when I do it, a lot of times I just walk up and take the 10K and go home. I'll just walk over and just be like, hey, here I am, dressed just like me. Deal with it. And he's like, well, that's a terrible score. Like this week I got like a 72 for showing up in my pig outfit. It's like, that's fine. 72's good. We're off. And we had to buff up, so I got 11K. But it's just too easy to walk up and talk to the guy. Yeah, I appreciate that Mione does those guides. That's pretty cool. I assume that Mione, I don't know if Mione's going and like getting the information, or if Mione's just like going out to Reddit, looking it up and making the video. Not that there's a problem with either direction. There's plenty of times that like when Brian and I do patch note videos, we're not making that up. We're just going out to the internet and reading it for you. So I don't know which way it is. It'd be even more impressive if it's like, oh, let me figure this out, as opposed to let me just go out to Reddit. If it's just me going out to Reddit, I appreciate the effort. That's already like more than most people are willing to do. And then going in game and showing where that is. 0 mail. Is that 0 mail? Really? All right, done. Cool. Oh, it's 5,000. I didn't realize it was that high. I thought it was like 1,000 or 2,000. That could be worth it, especially if you like Mahjong. I wouldn't play more than 2 games a week, though. Just those 2. All right, let's go see how much I have listed. And then I'll switch to my main here. My auctions, I'm at 1.2. I try to keep it above 2 million, so it's been kind of selling out. Mostly because I haven't been doing a lot of transmog runs, so like I haven't been refilling it. What's up, Ellie? All right. I need to go level all my alts now that they've... I was waiting for the heirloom gear to drop, and the heirloom gear's here, so I just haven't done it. I don't know. I'm still not made up... I still haven't made up my mind if I'm going to drop the game in August when my subscription time runs out. And so, like, I've had trouble wanting to level up my alts. Because the whole purpose of leveling up my alts would be to, like, start really engaging in WoW. And lately I've been having a lot of fun playing 14. And I thought that right now I would want to take a big break from 14 going into the expansion, and that WoW would be in a really good spot. Look, I mean, before BFA dropped, I was like, okay, that'll be perfect timing. You know, we'll be between point 1, we'll be going into point 2. Point 2 will drop, we'll get the roughly, and that's kind of like a big midpoint for the expansion. That's when we unlock flying and all this stuff in WoW. And then that'll kind of wear off, and right as we go into point 3, I'll be getting my expansion in 14. So like I really thought when I picked up BFA that all the timing was going to work out great. What I didn't account for is not really being addicted to BFA content. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely still have an active subscription to WoW. I don't play it on stream much. I know it's not like a big part of the channel. I've tried making videos and guides. It's just not something that like everybody's super engaged with. So I kind of just play it on my own time. 0 mail. Oh my gosh, my inventory is so jammed. Like, look at all this junk. Ugh, gross. All right, so I think I just want to go run some old stuff. Yeah, let's just go run some old stuff. I'll go run like old Kalimdor stuff, I guess. We'll go run some old raids. Maybe... Let's go run TBC raids. I think I'll run TBC raids. I've mostly been using WoW to just kind of like grind old content. I really haven't been engaging with the BFA content. So like, can you... I think a lot of people are like, oh, you should quit WoW because BFA isn't good. Well, that's not really the case. Like, this game's a lot bigger than that. So like, if I wanted to stop playing 14 today, which I don't, I'm really liking 14 right now, and I'm really excited about Shadowbringers. WoW would still be one of the games I would fall back to because there is so much content I've never done. I didn't play Draenor, and I skipped a good portion of Legion, so I could definitely engage with that. And then, like, when you talk about transmog systems, crafting systems, and all of that, there is depth here just because of the sheer number of years that the game's been out. The depth on its own may not seem that deep, but like, you could log in and do dailies every day for their equivalent of Beast Tribes into the end of time. So we're gonna come here and we're gonna stop by Nomi, and once Nomi's done, we will we'll go to Shatrath and see what the deal is with the TBC raids this week. I'll just do the ones that are on continent. I won't go do like Kara or anything. Okay. What do we got? What do we got? Ooh, new recipe. Yeah, buddy. I'm at 94 of 133, and this character never played Legion. Okay. Nomi, what you got? Let's do some Ley Bloods. We're still looking for Lavish Suramar Feast. Hopefully the stream's running smoothly. This is my first time to stream WoW in 1080p. So it's set up a little differently than the way I do 14 in 1080p because 14 comes from my PlayStation and WoW is running natively on my Mac here. So definitely a little bit different. Let's go ahead and turn in these prepared ingredients. This was the cooking system from Legion, and I kind of like it, but maybe I wouldn't have liked it if I was live in the content. Showing up at the end, like, it was just too easy to get all the ingredients, so, like, if it was painful, I didn't live through that. Yes. Have I ever played The Sims? Yes. I love The Sims. I like all simulation games. If EA hadn't driven Maxis into the ground, I'd be a huge SimCity fan today, but I guess all good things, you know? It's a little bit jumpy. Okay. I'll go back and watch it and see if it's jumpier than what I'm experiencing on my end. I need to just drop... I don't have anywhere I can just drop this stuff off because, like, my bank is just jammed on this character. I don't know. Let's go see how clogged my bank is and if there's anything I can clear out. Because if I'm going to go run content... Ugh. It's just totally clogged. Gross. Let's see what all can be deposited here. It's not real good at, like, it'll left click, it'll deposit all the, there we go. It deposits all the reagents, but it doesn't necessarily deposit all those things. Okay. Yeah, you can see, like, I still have all these, like, scarabs and stuff, and that's because I've been running, running AQ. Alright. We'll go deposit anything that I can here. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, because some of those scarab quests actually took more than I had. You've been addicted to Sims 4? That'd be another good one to, like, do while the servers are down. Alright, so we're going to send all of this. Yeah. And then we'll send the rest of this to Quandia, and I'll just sort it out on that end. It's not a good practice, but Quandia absorbs more stuff that doesn't go to my auction house bank than any other character, so I'll just send it all there and we'll be off. Okay. Off to Shatrath. The new portal room does have a portal directly to Shatrath, so I like that, but I don't like that we had to give up all of our old portals to do it. You're gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3? I did not get Kingdom Hearts 3. Just didn't have time. But I mean, I think if I hadn't had a WoW subscription, I would have picked it up. I think that would have been probably where I'd be spending my time right now. I mean, when 14's down, it's a good day to play a lot of whatever your secondary game is. So either it's a single player game that you're just playing through to completion, or it's another MMO that you check in that could always ask for more time than you're willing to give it. I think it's... Yeah, we'll do TBC raids. I don't think I'm going to do Black Temple. Black Temple's just way too slow. So we'll go see if I can get my ashes and yeah. And I won't do SSC. Yeah, I probably won't do that many of them. Honestly, looking at it, I only have like 30 minutes. So we'll start up in Netherstorm and then go to Girls and see what time is left. I think it's... we'll go do Magtheridon first. Magtheridon's such a quick kill. And I'm still missing stuff. Like if I pull up all the things for the whole game, which it was at like 45% until they changed the way BOEs. I don't know if they've added that back. So BOEs used to be, you can hide them all together, but you used to be able to see they took it away. But what it used to do was, I don't see it. No. So what it used to do is when a BOE has multiple appearances, I don't have any BOEs in my inventory, but say a BOE, like that appearance is shared across, I don't know, 8 items, then it used to be like that if you got that appearance on one thing for your transmog thing, your transmog library in that collection, then your equivalent of glamour, like once you unlock the appearance on one of those items, it counted as you'd collected all 8. And that was a setting you could turn on. And that's really how I want to play. I don't want to collect every single item ever to drop in the whole game. I want to collect every appearance to ever drop in the whole game. That way, if I go to my collections tab, I want these bars to be full. Like that's like a career goal, you know, that I can see myself chasing. And so this percentage, I want to reflect that. And they took that setting away. And that kind of bums me out. You're not in the Work To Game Discord? You can, should be free to join. I think link is in the description. It's usually in the description. Into Magtheridon. Alright. I'm not in Feral or anything, I'm just in Guardian. So, not being like super optimal or anything. I don't even think these guys have good drops. I'm really just here because like I can't seem to get my chest piece of the Fallen Defender off of Mag, my tier chest. I played TBC on my Hunter, and my Druid was my main in most other expansions, so I've been coming back to TBC trying to get all the stuff I missed. And it's just been, like, the drop rates have been garbage. I've gotten my DST, which was the trinket that I wanted on my Hunter so bad. I cleared Gruul every week through TBC and didn't get my and I never got my DST. Ever. Never happened. Being feared. There we go. Doesn't seem like I got anything new. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nothing new. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Disenchanting is basically desynthesis, but only people with enchanting can do it. This will be trash. And get rid of this. Okay. And rough. Yeah, I'm doing this in current gear. This is not syncing. No, 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 no. I am absolutely doing this the equivalent of unsynced. That way I can solo this. Which, you can actually one-shot things all the way down to... So last expansion, some things take 2 hits instead of 1. But you can pretty much one-shot everything 2 expansions or older. So kind of the equivalent of like ARR or further back as far as like... Or Heavensward or further back. Which is a lot of expansions for WoW. So that's all classic stuff, all Burning Crusade stuff, which is what this was. This was level 70. And then, and all Lich King stuff, all Cataclysm stuff, all Pandaria stuff, all Draenor stuff, and most Legion stuff can literally be killed in one hit. It does do what's called world syncing, and that takes place automatically now, but world syncing means that everything is level synced all the time to your level, to the cap of the experience that was available at the time. So if I'm level 61 and I run around out here, all these boars out here, the Hellfire boars, Hellboars, there's one, would be 61, and it goes all the way up, and this zone is capped at 81. And so since I'm level 120, 81 is its cap, so everything in this zone will be level 81. But if I come into this zone at level 60, it'll all scale it down. And if I'm in a group with a level 60, they will see that they're fighting level 60s, I will see that I'm fighting level 81s, we will both have access to all of our skills, and we will both get the experience that is due to us. So their world sync is way more powerful and way more graceful than 14's, and the trade-off for that is that they just got it last expansion. Like, they have been running without a world sync for so long. So yes, it is more powerful than 14's, but like 14 has had level sync since, I don't know. I don't know if they had it in 1.0, but they definitely had it in 2.0. So I wouldn't mind 14 kind of going back and revisiting it with current like software capabilities, but I get why theirs is the way it is. This next dungeon, this next raid takes a little bit longer. There's a fight that like you really can't do faster than like 5 minutes because there's a lot of dialogue. Like, they just talk and talk. So as soon as I get all the drops from that fight, I would never do it again. But I don't have them all yet. All right. I'm working on like a passion project that I don't know how I would ever finish it, because it's like getting it built and edited and made into videos will probably be close to 200 hours for you guys. And I'm just chugging through it slowly, and I don't want to release it till it's done. It's like a series of videos. And if you guys like it, that would be something else that would make me want to have my WoW subscription renewed. Because I would be interested in doing a similar series for WoW. So, I mean, in the same way that I've created a new character to play through actually reading all the lore in 14, like, that's something else that if you guys like that series, which I'm about to do episode 2 of that, I would be willing to do that for WoW and create a new character and slow down and see if there's things that I just never knew. Yeah, I mean, Ellie, part of it is that my guild kind of fell apart. Like, I mean, there's still a lot of active players. I'm part of a guild that a lot of people recognize, but my raid group within that guild was a lot of, it had a fairly large number of Blizzard employees. And so the group that I was going to be raiding with right now, a bunch of them got laid off. And so, like, my group in particular, like, I try to take it with a grain of salt that my group in particular, I know, is pretty upset with Blizzard. But that's not really necessarily due to content. Actually, a lot of them switched to 14, and as a group, they're all playing on a different server than I am, because a couple of them already played 14 on a different server, and it's on our data center. So I'm looking forward to being able to visit them tomorrow, because I've been chatting with them in Discord, but like I haven't really been able to, like, I guess, properly kind of visit with and like see them, and like I can't give them money, and all of those things become possible tomorrow. All right, let's see. Give me the loot. All right, where's this boss? It's up here somewhere. Pikamiki, new follower, welcome. All right. Let's piss off Alar. This was such a cool boss fight back in the day. All right. Killed the boss. But, you guessed it, it's a phoenix. So we gotta wait for it to come back to life. And this is the whole reason I actually come here, is that that boss is one of the few mounts in the game that I really want that I just don't have. And you get this bird as a mount. Come on, mount. Ugh. Still nothing. It's, I mean, it's, I think actually, I want to say the mount actually drops off Kel'Thuzad, so I don't think it drops off of that. Yeah, there it is. It drops off Kel'Thuzad Stun Strider, so. But I definitely want that mount. There we go. This week we'll go clockwise. Yeah, the whole guild didn't move, but there's like 20 of them that made the jump. And I assume that we'll keep maybe like a dozen of them long term. Some of them are really struggling with the amount of story that they have to do. Which, to be honest, is fair. We're going to come do this boss. No, we'll do them in order. Man, I'm doing really well on greens today. I could run Loot Appraiser right now. I haven't been running it. So we'll start a new session and see how much money I make from this point forward. Because I don't know what they're worth here. Like if I... 200 gold apiece for the greens, maybe? Oh yeah, that made 1,000 gold right there. So like, I've definitely been making money today. Okay. And I should probably continue to stop and clean out my inventory of soulbound stuff. Otherwise it becomes a real mess later. Soulbound. Do I know how many of them have been working within... I don't know what all I'm allowed to say as far as... I do know who was affected in what way. But I don't know how much of it I'm allowed to say. But it takes all kinds to run a company. And so, like, you wouldn't have had them on staff if their job wasn't necessary in some way. Now, granted, if your company shifts direction, so if you choose to be a company that, for example, Blizzard doesn't really publish that many games anymore, and so if you had a department that handled the publishing of games, then those jobs would be less necessary unless you thought you were going to begin publishing again. If you feel that online... if you're like Fortnite, for example, and you feel that online advertisements don't do anything for you, and so you just want to invest in streamers, you would need to pivot to people who could reach out to streamers and get away from people who are in traditional advertising. So, like, I get that some of it was a shift, but also, like, the big layoff was not the only... They've been making moves for a long time. We gotta get this guy talking. There it is. Because yeah, so now the door's locked, and now we're stuck in here to just listen to him talk. Oh, it's slow, slow, slow. So, I know a lot of them are frustrated with the way it was handled, and the direction that the company's headed, even if their position was no longer necessary. And I get that. Who's next? Somebody on this side? I don't remember the order. I don't think they're in order left to right. I think it's one of you. Yep. Oh, he feared me. What are you gonna do? Next. And Master Engineer. You look forward to New Game Plus. That they haven't confirmed that that's available on launch, have they? Like, that's not guaranteed. I mean, we know it's coming, but like, could that be a 0.1 or a 0.2 drop? So yeah, I just don't know how fair it is to them. Like, part of being in a guild with like employees is that you have to try to be really respectful of like when they're just trying to talk off the clock, you know? Like, they don't want to feel like I'm interviewing them all the time and like whatever they say where I can hear it will just get repeated to the internet. And there's actually other creators in the guild that are much larger than me. It was cool to get to go to BlizzCon with them, though. Like, that was the group I went to BlizzCon with, which was an incredible experience. Do I have to loot the weapons to trigger him? As you see, I have many weapons in my arsenal. God, I hope I don't have to. I really don't like picking these up. Yeah. Alright. I don't know if you have to do this every time. Let me out. Do I come back here to trigger him? I just don't remember what triggers him talking. Yeah, and BlizzCon was super fun. There it is. Perhaps I underestimated you. Perhaps you did. Delete. You have to say delete because these are epic items. And now this part is a little hairy as just one person. Basically, they're going to chain disorient me, so you just have to like get one down every time it wears off. And silenced. Alright, one down. Silenced again. One down. Disoriented again. Because they chain... I mean, they're supposed to be casting these things on different members of the raid, but, like, me being the only member of the raid. Alright. That was such a cool fight back in the day, though. Excuse me. I'm busy trying to delete a weapon here. How dare you? Alright. But, yes, I will say that some of the choices that management have made don't make sense even with inside information. They're just illogical. And some of the things they said, and then if you count back the timeline, like just the public statements, and then you count back the timeline, means that they knowingly were deceiving the public and the employees when they stated certain things, and then their actions didn't line up with that plan. Come on, man. You can see why people skip this fight. Like, I would only do this fight until I have 4 more drops off of him. That I can only get from him. Alright, and he's dead. Whew. Chest Guard of the Vanquished Hero, is that the one I needed? No, that's Hunter Mage Warlock! Oh, gross. So that gets vendored. And... Disenchanted. I got nothing new. Oh, this is painful. Alright. I want that mount so bad. It's a really low drop rate. Like, a really low drop rate. It's just... that is what it is. We have one more boss. This guy goes down quickly. And then we'll go off to Girl's Lair. Girls was probably my favorite fight of TBC. I enjoyed a couple of the fights in Serpent Shrine Caverns a lot, just because my guild really struggled with them, and they were really rewarding when we got them. Back in the day, like Lurker was a fight that I just really found fun and exciting. The fact that you had to fish the boss up, so you had to level fishing, was so cool. The mount to drop for a 3% drop rate? I don't know. Does it say here? Probably. That's probably about right. Which, when you have a lot of people here, like, they were dropping fairly often back in the day. I just never got one. Because I never had the DKP. Like, I was still running on... I was still running on a DKP system when I came here with my guild. So, like, I just wouldn't have had I wouldn't have had the ability to purchase it. And then my guild, like, I was DPS lead, so it would have been poor form. Like, when we did just roll-offs or something to give it away because we didn't want people to spend DKP, the leadership always passed. So we always gave the mounts and, like, the really cool cosmetics. Like, if nobody needed an item and somebody just wanted it because it looked cool, we never let, like, So being DPS lead, I wasn't allowed to roll on those things. just because we thought it was bad for morale if like leadership wins a bunch of them, so we just found it easier. All right. The guy I shared that guild with is actually the guy who got me into the guild I'm in now, which is a portion of the Elitist Jerks community, which is the community that ran like the unofficial forums for the game. Like if you weren't going, so if you weren't going to Wowhead, which was kind of like the gamer escape, then where you go to just like look up where does this quest item drop, then you were going to Elitist Jerks, and that's where you did. That's where all the theory crafting was, the rotation guides, things like that. The same way Method serves the game now, I guess. Like Method's really stepped up and has a lot of those guides. It feels more official than I guess Elitist Jerks ever did. But that's because it's more of like a media space and less of like a message board. Elitist Jerks was much more of a forum. There's something nice about unofficial forums. Like the official forums definitely have their place, and like I'm glad 14 engages with theirs so well. I think they engage with them better than Blizzard engages with theirs. But there's something nice about saying something in a space that you know is not being managed and moderated by the game developer. Like that definitely has its place. Where if the game developer chooses to interact with that community, they're doing so as a guest. Because like Wowhead has that. Like Blizzard doesn't own Wowhead, and so if a Blizzard dev chooses to go spend time on Wowhead to engage with the community, they're a peer, not like your superior. All right. Off to Grolls. I think I also just liked Grolls because I spent so long in Blade's Edge, because there was some enchants that you had to farm here, and in like the dailies in Ogre Law, so I just spent so long in that zone that it just has a lot of fond memories for me. I had every single TBC enchant that was not a raid drop. I was missing a few of the raid drops, namely Black Temple. And so like the open world ones, there were these open world enchant drops that were like these 0.001% chances. And so what I would do is I would get home from class in the afternoon and I would kill, like, I would set a number like 100 or 200, and I would just kill 200 of that mob, and then I'd do my homework and go out with friends, and I'd come back and I'd do that number again, 100 or 200. And so like I just farmed thousands of kills, and I did it, I mean it took weeks. So getting them was like this huge achievement. And then what I did when I got them is I just moved on to the next one, because there were so many of these open world. They don't do a lot of that open world farming. Now the open world farming unlocks mounts. So they still have them in the current zones. They have all these mounts that you can get. Like I have my donkey, which is rare. It's not the rarest mount that I have. The rarest mount I have is probably my Black Tundra, my Grand Black War Mammoth, which comes from the PvP raid in Lich King, and I got it the first week it was out. There were only like 4 in North America, and I got one. It was so cool. It was like a defining moment for me. I think that's moments like that can really addict you to a game. I mean, obviously that's not a good way to run like a business strategy, because it only addicts 4 people, but it was pretty neat to be one of just a few. That felt good. All right. So Grohl's Lair here. We'll probably... And then there's still several more raids, but they're all longer raids, like even longer than what we just did. Kara's long, even as a max level. Servant Shrine Caverns is long. Like it's just got a lot of running in it. And then Black Temple is just so long. And then outside of that, like, I mean, I guess other quick fights, like there's other quick fights that you can go do, but this is kind of I'll do these 3 a lot more weeks than not. So if you guys like hanging out at lunch and stuff, maybe I can try to do these at lunch from now on, so that I can come do this once a week with you. And I'll just do them till it drops. I have a couple more drops here. So I need the legs for the tier set and the shoulders for the tier set. Alright. I'm a bear. Oh, he feared me. Make me a bear. Missed my chance. There we go. Alright. Shoulders. Are those my shoulders? Am I defender? I never remember. Soulbound. 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 Oh, I am! Beautiful. Cool. There's still other shoulders that can drop here, but that's a start. There's like 6 appearances that I'm allowed to collect, I think. No, that's it from this one. The rest of those are things from other places. That should be done. Why does that not check off? Boo. Do I think it would be a good thing for World of Warcraft to actually drop things better suited to your character? So they've changed their loot system a lot in the last couple of years, and so we now have individual loot, and then like when you're in current raids, you do get like stuff more relevant to you, or you don't get anything at all. So they fixed a lot of that to kind of remove that frustration with personal loot. And then what you're seeing right now is legacy loot rules, which have recently been added, which allows you to get a little of everything. And the reason for that is people wanted to come in on their main and farm up like the BOE items to like either sell or things like that. So it increased. So now instead of me just getting like the random drop for me, I get all the drops that the raid would have gotten, which is why I'm getting all these things that I can't equip or, you know, or for other. So if I'd come here with like a low-level hunter, I could just trade that item to them, and then they would have gotten the same number. So if you come in here with like a 5-man that represents like all the different armor types, you can just crank through loot. And so I know a lot of people that multi-box come in and they'll just like knock it out. It says I've made 7,000 gold. All right. We'll hearth out. So I do think that loot is something that they've had to work on, and I think it's something that 14 has to work on. Like, how do you drop loot that's both rewarding but doesn't make it to where like people feel like, okay, I got that, now I don't need to do it anymore. All right. So it says we made 7,000 gold from when we turned that on, so that's something. So we'll come out here and clear out my inventory. Sell, 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 sell. And then always sell off the consumables. Those are garbage, garbage, garbage. Okay. And then off of any enchanting supplies I have, before I log off, I'd like to do a restock on that. There we go. I'll only do the things that I have. So this is an add-on that allows me to do this. So what this does, this literally opens up all the crafting that I have available to me on this character and says what of it is currently profitable on the market board, and then allows me to pull from the ingredients that are in my bank. And so the little green ones, the numbers here that are green, I literally have the resources for. If I'd go buy the missing ingredients and it tells me what's missing, it tells me what it would cost me. I'd have to spend 18,500 gold. And then the total value of all the things that I would make would be 138,000. So be pretty cool. Is there a specific server? I want to visit Cactar. That's where a couple of my friends like from that I know in real life are playing right now, and they're low level and like they're just hitting cap and they haven't finished MSQ and they don't have any money, and so I'd love to go there and like give them some of the gear that like Brian gave me when I joined and stuff like that. Like Brian, every time I've taken a break from the game or anything like that, when I come back and I've been short gear, Brian's just fed me. Make for your bank. So I would love to return the favor and kind of pay that forward. All right. Cleared all that. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to visit with other streamers, and like really what it is I want to do like maps and stuff with you guys. So like with these community game nights, like maps is some of the most fun content to just take like anybody who's at cap, no matter what their gear is, no matter where they're at in story, and just go out in the world. And like now that we have 4-person mounts, they don't even have to have flying unlocked. If you're level 70, you're good, and off we go. And that's something that now we can do. Now that Brian and I both have 4-person mounts, that's an 8-person party. So we can literally take a full party, and if all 6 people are just people like from chat in stream and they want to hop on, they totally can. And the 8 of us can hop in Brian and I's car. Brian and I can afford to keep the maps going. Brian and I will run 4 maps, and then we'll drop those 6 and we'll pick up another 6 of you. And then we'll just keep plugging away. So I would really enjoy that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And that's only possible with the world visit system. And I don't care what world we do it on. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It can, I mean, we're both on Sargatanas, but it doesn't matter. So if our areas are busy, then we'll just go somewhere else. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. Well, guys, that's it for me. That was my hour-long lunch break. It's been super fun to kind of hang out. Sorry, I was hoping for a full hour, but I started a little late, so I think I'm at like 51 minutes of stream time. But it was an hour of my time, so I got to get back to it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and it was fun to kind of play a little bit of transmog with you. That's basically what transmog runs are, and they're super fun. And like the dungeons, those are on weekly lockouts, but the dungeons, you can literally just like repeat them over and over, and you can sit there and just farm the crap out of a dungeon, make crazy amounts of money. And so it's just this entire culture inside the game that's all based on old content, and that really scratches an itch that like 14 does not have any way of engaging with old content in a meaningful way. So it's cool to do that. Yeah, I'd love to visit Meoni, and I mean many of the other creators. I'd love to kind of, especially if like they stream or make videos where they're standing in front of their house, I'd love to go see that house. But that's only possible on my data center, so that's still not everybody. Like I think Happy's on the other data center, and I think like, I don't know, there's a bunch, right? So but hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and there won't most likely be a community game night tonight. If my wife works late, I may stream for a little bit, but with servers being down, it'll be something like this, or Brian and I will play some like Apex or Smash, or I don't know, something. So take care, and I will see you next week.